Good morning, traders, or whatever time you're watching this. It is Saturday, December 13th, 2014. Probably look a little different this morning in that I am starting a new routine, body, mind, and spirit, hopefully, and that will dovetail into this week's discussion on trading. So I just got off a 20-minute treadmill. I've been so lax in exercising as of recent days. But a quick update on the medical front for those of you who have followed me for a long time. Know that I tend to be a type A. Don't take particularly good care of my health in terms of eating and exercise and all that. Aside from seeing the doc when I have had major illnesses, injuries, whatever, have not had a physical since high school. I'm 53 years old. And so that I do not end up in the newspaper or online somewhere as the example of someone who should have had all this stuff done. I am turning over a new leaf as I enter into 2015, and have got a new primary care physician who I met with on Thursday. I'll talk about that in terms of trading implications in a minute. I am working out. I am eating better. I have lost about 8 pounds in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I have a stress test scheduled for Monday at 8:30, which is going to be a bit of a dance on the trading side. We'll talk more about that. And I get all the over 50 type of stuff in terms of checking out your plumbing scheduled. So I had blood work done Thursday, and my cholesterol is on the high end, but within range. So I've got some work to do to keep it in that range, if not get it a little lower, considering my dad has a history of heart disease before he passed. In the last 20, 25 years of his life, needed to have that checked out. So had a number of blood panels done, and of the whole gamut, sugar, cholesterol, the whole 9 yards. Vitamin D a little low, hence this, right? And cholesterol just on the higher end, but everything else surprisingly checked out great. I'm really interested to see what the stress test shows on Monday, given that my heart does get pounding a little bit when I'm trading. So I consider that to be cardiovascular exercise. We'll see, or aerobic exercise. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about this week. Again, go back to the years, several years ago, this was a diary. This weekend update is as much a diary recap for me as it is anything else. Instead of doing it daily, I'm doing it weekly, and you can kind of see how my week went. Thursday was my day from hell for the year. I tell everybody going into the year that you can expect 2 or 3 days from hell. It's just going to happen. 230 trading days if you include a few weeks for vacation. You're going to have them. You are going to have them. I had mine on Thursday. Twofold. First of all, my doctor appointment was at 8:30, and I was so out of rhythm that day. I got up at 3 a.m. to trade Europe. Did okay there, but had to go back to sleep. My intent was to wake up 6, 7 or so, and trade that before my appointment. And I had the perfect short 7:45, 8 a.m. Eastern time, expecting that second move up toward the resistance point to crater, which it did. But I had to close my positions before the real move happened because I had to leave. So sitting in my doctor's office with my phone and the market update, I was cursing a little bit. My blood pressure was higher than it's ever been. My blood pressure is usually real low, like 115 over 72, and it was 125 over 80, which isn't that high, but for me, it's really high. So that was my explanation. And then I got back to my trading desk at 9:30 and tried to short one last time against that resistance, and our concept trust until broken. Obviously, that was broken to the upside and a major monster move, and I was a little bit heavier than I should have been. So when I stopped out, it was not debilitating, but took a large ding. So not really happy at all with Thursday. So all I could do was, and again, I'm involved in a non-market endeavor for the moment as well as this. So my focus during the day is not great. So I have to schedule these spots. That's going to end soon. So anyway, so that happened, and I grinded a little bit over the course of the day. It was tough to grind out much once that monster move happened because it skyrocketed. No oscillations, no rotations at all on that way up, obviously, and so I narrowed the loss a little bit by the end of the day, and then was so PO'd yesterday that traded that, nailed that open. Wasn't as heavy as I would have liked to have been, but once that first 1 minute bar broke to the upside at 9:30, getting that good trade, which was one of my favorites. So came to about a third of the recovery from Thursday. Not particularly pleased, but just kept on churning, kept on walking, and really looking forward to Monday. Now Monday I have a stress test at 8:30, so that's going to require me to do a couple of things. Either get up and trade the Europe Open, which continues to be the highest probability trading time frame in the world. That 3 to 6 o'clock, and the U.S. market follows that. It's just so textbook, and the challenge that we have in the States here, obviously, is to either not trade it and try to do what we can during the other time frames, or reschedule our life, if you will, to get that done and be up for that. So that's one of my options. And then making sure that I'm around for the U.S. Open. I have to get back here and make sure I don't make the same mistakes I made on Thursday. So that's how my day went. And contrary to what you see in the blogs or on the internet, where everything is hunky-dory and all the charts show perfect tops, bottoms. Here's what you should enter. In hindsight, I still get a kick out of that. Come on, guys. Realism. This is about making decisions live, real time. And I've said this before. This usually is one of the things that people pick up in the jelly session is over the course of the day, everybody's going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes of trade sizing and sequencing and errors of omission, opportunity loss. In addition to all this stuff, you're going to have that happen to you over and over and over again. When you think about all the thousands and thousands of markets in the world, you're going to miss every opportunity of that instrument that you're not trading. So get over that. Just keep churning away with what you do have. So I make mistakes. I make mistakes every year. I do very, very well in this business, and you folks have seen the record. But you got to understand this is part of it. I think one of the frustrations that a lot of traders have in this business is they don't realize that this is part of the game, because everything is so pristine. The analysis, it's so clean before the fact and after the fact, and how about real time? That's where it counts. So that's a little bit of punch, if you will, into the injection of realism into this world. The outside world, I say again, I said in the book, motivation, focus, showing up. Those are the only three things. Only three things. Motivation, what did I say? Motivation, focus, and showing up. Those are the only three things that should keep you from making a living, making a solid income, a very solid income in this business. And the showing up business caught me last week. It's going to catch me a little bit Monday morning, and I have to work around that, such as life. I should have known. I did a post many years ago on the dentist appointment that cost me about $20,000. I should do better in terms of scheduling these things, but sometimes it's not possible. I can't get in for a month unless I do Monday, and I want to get this done. So, it's a thought in terms of scheduling your time and being better at how you do that. And I need to either accept the opportunity loss or whatever. It's interesting because I was in really good rhythm Thursday morning up until I had to leave. And I find if you leave your trading station for whatever reason, or if your focus is diverted, then it's almost like starting over again when you get back to it. And this is a game of flow, and that just is the way it is. What else is going on? Boy, kind of pumped up for 2015. Continuing to work with the folks at Stage 5, and moving forward again with signing up for moving one of my accounts. Continue to be impressed by their infrastructure there, and working out a few details. But I like what I see there. Continuing to work with Charlie Cochran and Peter Nanis with the Inside Edge software. And what I'm doing right now is really getting things in gear for 2015, which I expect to be just a banner year as I work on my focus and my health and my everything that affects me. I want to talk a little bit too about how do you come back from Thursday? How do you come back from lost opportunities? And the beauty of this life is that we all get a second chance. As long as we wake up that next day living and breathing, then we have a chance. As I said in the book, and as I've stated elsewhere, my faith keeps me strong through these periods, and I don't rely on it as much as I should. But that's very, very important to me, and I would not have. I do best when I get out of my own way and I lean on God. and that's just the way it is. And I get myself into trouble time and time and time and time again when I don't do that. So these are all reminders for me that I just need to focus more on that and realize that every new day is a gift and a new opportunity. Folks, we're coming on a new year, 2015. We're all living and breathing. Everybody watching this is still around to make course corrections and to adjust however you need to adjust to get in sync, get in gear in your life and in the markets heading into 2015. I'm going to try to be an example. I did this in a diary in terms of my trade logs for a couple of years. Excuse me. I'm going to try to do this in terms of physical fitness, focus, motivation, schedule rearrangements to see what kind of an impact it has. I am looking at just some fantastic things heading into the year. The volatility of the market's picking up. A lot of good things in the industry are happening that I see as opposed to what happened several years ago with MF Global and a few other things. I think we've turned a major corner in this industry. One last thought. I've spent a lot of time on Twitter lately, and I continue to tweet every now and then in terms of things that I think are relevant. I've also spent a lot of time researching, and it's a great vehicle for researching, a great compilation of things. And as I said before, you're going to separate the wheat from the chaff. One of the things that I get caught in a little bit is too much information. I use very simple charting, price action on multiple time frames, NYSE tick, and I may have some other things, and I'd look at three-line break certainly as a tool, but that's it. That's it. Spent a lot of time with market profiles. I've said lately, and as I've said before, market profile just lines up with a bunch of this other stuff. Okay, it's not to say that market profile doesn't work. Okay, because I'd get thousands, I'll get hundreds of traders, screaming at me for saying that. Everything works within context. Market profile provides a context. Time frames on multiple or charts on multiple time frames also provide the what's the word I'm searching for? Context. So pick a couple of things and work on your focus. That's it. Market profile requires a great deal of interpretation. You're going to find people that say you got to trade from the middle out. You're going to find people say you should trade from the edges where there's no volume. Well, that works well, until something like Monday or late Friday happens where, there's not a whole volume at the tail, but that's where everybody was heading for the exits. Now, if that was midday on Friday or midday on any other day of the week, I'd be all over that, buying with both hands and my feet, get up to 300 contracts. However, you don't do that on Friday. So and single prints and all this kind of stuff, and boy, if you can make sense out of that stuff, God bless you. It requires so much comprehensive of understanding, and maybe I'm just too simple for that. I'm a simple guy. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, and just let the results flow. So my one caveat anyway, and all the stuff on Twitter is there's a lot of garbage out there. If you find yourself getting caught as I have with scanning the net to try to find ideas and methods and practices and all that kind of stuff, and obviously you're watching this, so you're getting some from this. And one of the reasons, by the way, that I try not to get into too much of the technicals in these videos or in any of my posts is because I realize that hopefully you've got something that you're focusing on and it works. Any method's going to work. You can stand on your head and turn around and put a blindfold on your head, and as long as you manage your trade sequences and size when you got it, that's all you need. That's all you need. All this other stuff is contextual. So, my goal here is to motivate you and to inject some realism in this business. Okay, I make millions of dollars in this business, and I say that with all conviction, but with all due humility. God has allowed me to do that for whatever reason, and as long as I'm allowed to keep doing that in my other businesses, I'm going to continue to do that. And when that door is closed, that door is going to be closed. And it has been closed at times, and I have to accept that. It was closed briefly on Thursday, and then swung and hit me in the face. But just keep coming back. Simplify things. Get yourself focused, motivated. Get yourself in good health. Simplify things. Lean on what's most important or the strength in this world, and then let results as they lie as they are. If I'm hyperventilating, I need to exercise more. Have a great weekend, great trading week, and we will be back at it this weekend. Follow me at Twitter at MillerDon. Take care.